Alrighty guys, we just got done watching the first bad movie of the new year, The Grudge. As expected, it's a very strange movie, it's a very bad movie. And how many times has this movie been remade? A lot. Now I did enjoy the original Grudge with Sarah Michelle Gellar all those years ago. But you know, as it is with sequels, most of the time they fall short. Just like all the times they tried to recapture that Blair Witch magic, the Blair Witch Project magic, you know, stuff like that. And you know, this time of the year you expect these kind of movies to come out. You know, we've had them, you see them every year, these horrible, low-budget horror movies. This movie probably didn't have what, $2-3 million budget. I mean, I would say all the budget to this movie went towards the advertising. This movie sucks. It's obvious. I watched the whole movie. I did fall asleep for I wouldn't say fell asleep, I closed my eyes for about 10 minutes. Pretty much what happens is, of course, this American girl is in Tokyo watching somebody, a relative I guess. She comes back and the Grudge follows her because, as the movie clearly says, once the Grudge gets a hold of you, it doesn't let go until you're dead. Or it just tortures you to death by flashing in front of you like, oh, I'm here to get you. But now the Grudge does attack people in the movie, which is kind of hard to understand. Some people are tortured by seeing the Grudge, having bad dreams, seeing the demonic spirit, whatever you want to call it, while other people get attacked and get killed. So, it follows, what, 3 families? And it kind of does like a time stamp thing with it, where it'll go back in time and show what happens to lead to this point of the movie, like that. Bad acting. And the sheriff in the town is an absolute joke. He's smokes all the time. He lives in a rundown trailer. I wonder what state this movie takes in also, because the whole movie, it's like it is right now, it just rains. The whole movie is about rain. And of course you've got people who the Grudge didn't kill, and they're like in a psychiatric place, psychiatric ward, where they're crazy, they've lost their mind, they're like seeing things, talking to people, all this. And what's up with other ghosts? Other ghosts pop up that's been killed by the Grudge. It was a bad movie. I mean, there's really no need to explain it, but we'll explain it the best we can. But very uninspiring movie, very low budget. And right now, people, of course, I know a lot of people don't like Rotten Tomatoes, but when you go by the score right now, we got 20% across the board. The reboot of The Grudge wastes talented cast and filmmaker on watered-down scares that leave viewers nursing grievances of their own. The movie is depressing. It's very dark. The movie's so bad, you kind of wished it. You know, it's depressing. It makes you feel bad. Rated R. After a young mother murders her family in her own house, a detective attempts to investigate the mysterious case, only to discover that the house is cursed by a vengeful ghost. Now targeted by the demonic spirit, the detective must do anything to protect herself and her family from harm. There you have it. And once the Grudge got in that house where it was haunted or whatever, anybody that moved into the house, the Grudge would be there to patronize them, torture them, make scary faces at them, like this, if that's scary, like that. Just imagine waking up and you see this in your face, you're like, or seeing a BBC, you're like. Now if the wife saw a BBC, she'd just open her mouth and take it in. Most people would be scared. So, ex-wife. But, typical bad Hollywood movie this time of year. I guess, you know, they're hoping it can turn a little profit because it probably didn't cost nothing to make, of course. And they're going off the Grudge name. And another thing that bothered me about the movie, people, It's got your typical ending also, I'll tell you that in a minute. It's got your typical ending. Another thing that bothered me about the movie is, you know, usually in these movies you have an attractive young girl or older woman in the movie. You're like, you know, you got that. It's also got that woman from The Grudge in it. Not Grudge, but Conjuring. The one that could like sense the stuff. It was the Conjuring movies. Is one of those horror franchises. But none of the people in the movie are attractive. You know, the men are ugly and the women are not pretty either. I mean, the blonde-headed woman that moved to town to start over, of course, which is you see, how many times have you seen that? I'm starting my life over. My husband's died. I'm moving to a haunted house. My life gets worse. How many times have we seen that? I'm going to move to a new town. The house I'm moving to is haunted. Nobody told me about it. And now I'm being killed by a demonic ghost, spirit, BBC, whatever. And the girl's not attractive. You know, most of the time, I watch these movies because the lead actress is pretty. I'll just go ahead and say it. You can say if it's sexist or whatever you want, but it's just the honest truth. And it's funny when I went there and I watched the early showing, of course, and you've got people there. You have these teenagers with their girlfriends and stuff, like it's going to be a scary movie, and you're sitting there knowing it's going to be ass. But that's typical too. You got these horror movies, and you've got women there with their boyfriends, and they're going to fake their scares, like oh, and stuff like that. You know, it's typical. That's typical crap. This movie is 100% been done over and over, recycled. It's the same kind of ghost story over and over. I'm going to put a stop to the spirit. Also, it's got the same kind of ending you would expect. I've got to put a stop to this. I've got to end it. Everybody that moves into this house, they're going to become possessed by this spirit. They're going to die, or they're going to wind up crazy. They're going to be crazy. It's going to be awful. It's going to be awful. It's going to be the worst thing ever. So, in typical fashion, she burns the house down. I'm going to put a stop to the grudge. I'm going to put a stop to this ghost. We're going to burn it down. And of course, she burns the house down. She's driving home to her house, and she's like, we beat it. We took care of it. And of course, the next morning, she drops her boy off. The school bus stops. She's in a good mood. Her kid's she's like, bus is out there. You got to go to school. You know, she's got a little son. She hugs him, and behind her, like in a different room, you hear him say, "I'm going, Mom, bye." She was hugging the grudge ghost turned into a, you know, looked like her boy, and it wasn't. And it ends. The grudge didn't die. So it's your typical ending. You think the ghost is gone, but it's really just followed you to the next house. Same old stuff you see in every movie. It did have Betty. Oh, Nina. Nina was hot. Yeah, the girl that played Nina. She was one of the other people that lived in the, I guess also in the movie, yeah, she was like her husband. I forgot to mention this. Nina and Betty. Betty's hot. But I'll just go ahead and tell you this. Nina, you got Betty and John right here. You can see them. These two right here. There's John and there's Betty. They're trying to sell the house that's haunted. It's up on the market. And she's pregnant, and somehow the ghost follows him home, and he kills her while she's pregnant, and then he kills himself because the grudge followed him home too. So what I'm trying to figure out, people, is why does the grudge kill certain people while other people it just torments? It just follows them and torments them. Because at the end, when she let her boy, when she thought she got rid of her, when she thought she got rid of the Grudge and she went to her car, or he was going to school and she was getting ready to go to work, it killed her and the movie went off. And of course when the movie goes off, it does something I've never seen a horror movie do before. I bet it's 2 or 3 minutes of just a snapshot of the house, just showing the house, the wind blowing, you know, birds chirping, whatever, the driveway, the car. It just shows that. And the movie takes place like in 2004. So, and it's got, everybody has a flip phone in the movie and all this, so it's, everybody drives horrible vehicles too. Even the sheriff. I mean, the highest paid guy that works at the sheriff's station drives a beat up car. He's not even driving a police car. I guess he's a detective. I don't know. But everybody drives these old Chevrolet Buicks that's rusted and everything. It's a bad movie, and it's raining all the time in the movie, like it is now. But that's pretty much it, guys. I would give The Grudge 1 star. It's horrible. Watch it and just sit back and wonder. I'm watching ass on theater, you know. Ass. You know, we've seen a lot of bad movies. This is one of the worst. This is it's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but it's up there. You know, it's up there. I think last year we got the movie Keanu Reeves Replicants, or Replicant. I think it was Replicants. That was one we watched last year that started out the year also very bad. It was a horrible way to start the year. But there it is, people. The Grudge. It's bad. It's bad. And that's pretty much it. I give it 1 star and that's it. So, there you have it, people. And don't take my word for it. Look at all the reviews. There you have it. I will say this though, the movie might actually make some money before we go, because I went and watched the 1:45 showing, and I bet there was 20 people in there. You never get that on a day like that. So, I mean, you're never going to get that many people usually watching a rainy day, bad weather, and you still got maybe 25 people there at the most. That's still pretty good. So that's pretty much it, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and stick with the original, because you got Sarah Michelle Gellar in the original. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the hot girl. That movie may actually be bad, but because she was in it, I enjoyed it. So we'll see you guys as always next time. Have a great day. Toodles!